Hello and welcome to another episode of FPL Expectations with me, Craig. We're here just a couple of days before Game Week 3's deadline, and in the studio with me we have Philosophy to answer all your questions, to talk us through his Game Week 2 and how it went for him, and what transfers he's made ahead of Game Week 3. Sophie, how you doing? It's been a while.
Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah, it's been a great holiday for the past week for me and my family, and also good news. We are expecting a baby, probably somewhere around January, I think.
Absolutely
So yeah,
fantastic.
life is good, but
And,
not so
and,
much
and
for
it's
my FPL team.
and your baby's going to be delivered during the transfer window as well. I mean, that's a new signing for the
A
philosophy
new
team.
signing.
But that's great. I mean, yeah, we're very congratulations to you and your wife,
Thank you, thank
especially.
you.
And I hope everything's going well in terms of things with her. But we're going to go dive straight into it, and we're going to look at your Game Week 2 team and how it got on. Just pop this up here. Yeah, just talk us through it.
Okay, so for Game Week 2, so my team got 53 points. So as you can see here, my overall point is just 86. Not a very good point for me, but it's still early in the season. So I'm going to go through the points from my players. Ryan gave me a clean sheet. TAA with clean sheet and also a bonus point. Ailing with just 1 point. Walker Peters with an assist. But then he conceded like four goals. And then Robertson, yeah, Robertson a clean sheet without any bonus point. So for my midfield, I bring in Sterling for Dele Alli, right around game week 2. So he got an assist against Wolf, and then Saint Maximin got off with 1 point. He's injured, I think.
Yeah, I think he's got a knock, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether he will play on game week 3 or not. And then my captain, Aubameyang, just an assist, so 10 points there. As for my forwards, Adams, just 1 point, yellow card. Martial, 2 points, just his appearance point. And also Ings with 2 goals, 11 points. And also I got Pereira on my
He's on the
subs.
bench. Yeah.
On my bench. Yeah, I
He got involved in the goal, didn't he?
actually before the deadline. Joe advised me to get him in my starting 11. I didn't follow his advice, and then yeah, there you go. I got
You got
11
punished.
points on my bench.
You got punished by for not listening to Joe. But I mean, I'm just gonna go like just looking over your team. The transfer that you did from game week 1 to game week 2 was bringing in Raheem Sterling for Dele Alli. Also, I mean, it's always good bringing in a City asset. I mean, the way they play their football, they're always going to create chances. Sterling's always going to get a goal or two. Didn't get a goal on this occasion, but any signs? He's a lot of money. Any good signs to keep him in the team and avoid the whole Pep rotation and everything?
Yeah. I think the plan is always to keep him in my team, probably for a longer period, and also to double up with any promising City assets. And also, before we go on further, I think it's best for me to actually highlight the mistakes. I think a lot of people try to avoid talking about their mistake, and for me, I think it's good. It's good to just admit your mistake from early on during the season. First of all, Dele Ali is a huge mistake. I think for me, I didn't know what I was thinking. It's actually closer to the game first game week deadline. Uh, Probably I look at my team, and then earlier I have Bruno at that spot, and then afterwards I just thought that I bring in Ali as a 1 week punt, and then that
Yeah.
failed totally a mistake. The second one I would like to highlight, I think Saint Maximin is also probably a mistake as of now. It didn't look good. Newcastle as a team doesn't look good. Their wide players or their wingers always tuck in inside to defend. So they didn't venture forward a lot. And also another one I would like to point out, the probably the mistake that I shouldn't have made during the first game week is bringing in Walton as my second goalkeeper. So as you can see from my team, I have already three players from Brighton, which will further block me from getting any of the Brighton players in the future.
Yeah, just on that, Sophie, I made all those three mistakes that you said. I made exactly the same ones. All right, so you're not alone there. I had Dele Alli in my team. I had Saint Maximan, and I have Walton in my team.
Yeah, it's all it's
So
all it's all about the. I think the last minute tinkering
yeah,
is not actually good. I will probably try to avoid that in the future. Getting my team locked early, probably a day before the deadline.
yeah.
Try to avoid a panic thinking, or try getting influenced by Twitter and all that.
Yeah, I think that's where one of my mistakes was in selecting Dele Alli. I had Son for a majority of my drafts, and then I think it was Big Man Baka's analysis on Ali versus Son, and for that extra million that you saved, he
I
kind
think
of
I think we are on the same boat.
yeah. So that's the only thing I was like, save 1 million and get good returns from Ali. Yeah, I'm all about that. But obviously, it backfired massively, and yeah, we both had to ship him out. So that was your game week 2 team. Only one transfer made from game week 1 to game week 2, which was Sterling in for Ali. Looking at that, 53 points below the average. Just like myself, we got exactly the same points, which was not ideal going into the so early on in the season. Actually, were you at any stage tempted to play your wild card? I mean, you're sitting on 86 points. Am I right?
Yeah.
And
For 4.6 million overall rank.
yeah, did the wild card play on
Of
your mind?
course.
Did you feel very tempted to
I
use
think,
it?
yeah, I think who doesn't, right? Especially going after the game week 2, which have been probably one of the high scoring game week. I think a lot
Yeah,
of goals,
a lot of goals. Yeah.
44, I think.
I think the highest ever, right, in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very odd game week, I think. Of course, there's a lot of temptation to activate my wildcard, by I still I try my best to stick to my plan,
Okay.
holding on to the wildcard. And also for me, I'm not I didn't rule any chance that I'm going to activate my wildcard early on in the season, but I think game week 3 is probably a bit too early for me. The transfer window is still open. There's a lot of transfer activity going around, and
Yeah.
also probably it's best to just wait up until game week 5 when the transfer window closes.
Okay. Okay, we're going to look ahead to game week 3 now. And as I understand, speaking to you personally before we got into the show, you've made 2 transfers already.
Yeah.
Yeah, shall we just get that
Uh,
and you can talk us through it?
okay. Get my team here. Okay. So here's the team. Probably more or less 95% locked for this game week, for game week 3. So the only thing I probably change is probably Eric Dyer. I'm not sure whether it will be him or Walker Peters or maybe Ailing still have a good chance to keep a clean sheet at least against goal shy Sheffield United, uh, who probably who I think is they are the lowest at the moment for shot on target, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, I bring in KDB as per plan before the first game week. Always plan to bring him in before against Leicester City, and then like I said previously, Saint Maximin I admit is a mistake, and then also related to the mistake that I mentioned, the probably the guy who I interested the most is Trossard,
Yeah.
Brighton. But then again, I've already three players from Brighton. So my second choice at the moment is Podence. So I bring him in and also KDB for a hit, -4 there. Probably not a good time to take a hit, especially at my situation right now with 4.6 million overall rank. But I think I need to correct my mistake early in the season.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it will pay off.
Yeah, just touching on that, was there any specific reason that you picked Sterling ahead of KDB?
Uh,
Going into game week 2.
yeah, before the Man City and Wolf match, I did have a short discussion with Joe between KDB and Sterling, who got the most potential against
Mm.
Wolf. So I checked their previous stats in 19 and 20 season. So Sterling have a more shots on target compared to KDB in the previous two match away and home against Wolf. So there's a there's a I think uh, there's a interest for me to get Sterling before KDB mainly for that reason.
Okay. And, you obviously taken a hit. What advice do you have for people out there who are, I think a lot of the top players as well are struggling. Certain picks haven't gone their way. I think
Mm-hmm.
Adams had a lot of teams. He was highly recommended at the start of the season. He's obviously drawn a lot of blanks, but luckily, in his place, Ings has kind of turned it on last week and managed to get a couple of goals. And then you got the United assets, who failed to impress against Crystal Palace last week. But do they stick with United? I mean, United still have a really
should,
good
should,
run of
should,
fixtures.
should, should we
Is
should we
Adams
talk about
someone that they
United
stick
now?
with? Yes, let's go for it. Let's go for it. It's gonna hurt me, but let's go for
What a performance, man! I mean, we know that they always struggle to get behind a team which set up in a low block, but then
it.
again, the performance in the week and in the last weekend is, I think, by far the worst that I have seen recently. They didn't show any passion or creativity to get in behind the two layer of midfield and also defenders. Crystal Palace. I think they're lacking creativity on the wide players, especially wingers and also fullback. I
Do
don't
you
know.
think? Do you think? I mean, people like Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, who you have on your team. Is that going to
Mhm.
put you off from bringing them into your squad? Because I know there was some talk before the season that you're looking to bring in United assets into your squad.
Mhm.
Has that result put you off it? Are they still
Uh,
ones still on your watch list?
so after the Crystal Palace game, I look at their fixtures again. So I think the Crystal Palace game probably will be one of the game, the tough one for United, especially to break on the low defensive block. Afterwards, they will face Brighton, Tottenham, Newcastle probably will, who I expect will also set a low block against United, and then Chelsea, Arsenal. I think it will be okay for their attacking assets. I would be worried if I have one of their defensive assets actually. So I will keep Martial. If I have Bruno, I will keep Bruno. I advise people to keep Bruno. I think, yeah, he's not at his top performance against Crystal Palace, but then he's the main creative outlet for United. He will come good.
Okay. And just personally asking you for people, some of our viewers that are watching this, for people that are really struggling, below the 1.5 million mark, and below. I know it's very early on in the season. There's a lot of game weeks to go. Should they be panicking? Should they be worried? Or stick to the principles, stick to the strategies that they decided to take on at the start of the season?
I think first of all, we have to assess our team. We spend a lot of time picking up our first game week team, probably a month. We have our reason why we select those 15 players or 11 players for our team. So assess each and every one of them. My second advice would be admit your mistake. If you make any mistake, just admit the mistake. Try to correct. Make a reasonable plan to correct the mistake. It's okay to admit the mistake, like I did with Dele Alli and also Saint Maximin. And then, of course, try not to panic. We have 36 game week to go. A lot of things will happen, of course, and of course, statistic and also goals and assists will level up throughout the season. So remain calm. But then again, if you already see that you need to overhaul your team, it's also okay to activate the wildcard.
All right. Now we come to that part of the show where we entertain questions from the community. Now, if you've been following FPL Expectations, as you know, before we come on air, I usually put a tweet out welcoming any type of questions FPL related, for it to be answered by our experts. And obviously today we have Philosophy on with us to answer your questions and how he can help you and give you some good advice. So we'll come on to that. The first question that we got was from FPL Matcha, and he asked, should he choose Jesus or Jimenez?
For this one, I think I'm leaning towards Jimenez, mainly because he's a talisman for Wolf. Always get in and around the chances for whether he's the one who providing the chances or finishing the chances. So and also Jesus, of course, you have a more option on Manchester City to pick from. Of course, we've seen like the game against Wolf. Foden is also very good. Sterling and of course KDB is a little bit more expensive than Jesus, but they are also an option, a very good option. So if it is between Jesus or Jimenez, I will lean on towards Jimenez.
Okay. And our second question, there's actually two parts to this question. It's from @VRuben, who asks, is Kane a one game week wonder, or will he go from strength to strength? And is he a fair captain pick this week?
Okay. First of all, the previous match against Southampton, I think it's a very odd game. I'm not sure why Southampton set their back four very, very high on the pitch, and they keep on repeating the same mistake against Tottenham. And of course, for the likes of Kane and the speedster like Son, they will capitalize on that mistake. So to answer the question, I think Kane will come good throughout the season. Of course, he looks great, sharp, and of course he's a prolific goal scorer. Uh, the to give him the armband, I think it's a little bit more gamble for game week 3. Especially you have the likes of Salah playing at Anfield, KDB against Leicester City, who been trouble for the back line. But it's still a good shout, I think, to give the armband to Kane. Probably a little bit risky.
But would you agree if you have someone at that kind of price, on your forward line? I mean, you almost have to captain them, right? Almost.
I've just seen the debate on Twitter about this. Actually, someone posts on Twitter whether it is viable to keep premium assets on your team just for the sake of covering the risk of others getting the haul, especially if they're giving the armband. I think it can go both ways. It's okay to have him and not captain him, uh, especially a good striker like Kane. He, he will get chances in any games, I think, and he can finish it very well. So yeah, I think it's nothing wrong in keeping him in your team, although you are not captaining him.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming on today with us, Philosophy. Thanks for answering the questions. Thanks for giving us
Thank
that
you. Thanks, man.
ahead of your game week 3 and the transfers that you've done. Wish you all the best and hope you climb that table very soon and that your transfers pay off. But once again, thank you. It's been a
Hopefully.
while since you've been on here, so I've missed seeing your face.
Yeah.
I've really seen it after like a couple of weeks or so. But yeah, we'll look to get you on soon. And if you're not already following Philosophy on Twitter, please do. It's at Philosophy on Twitter, where you can find more insights. He's gonna, do a team reveal just before the deadline as well. And if you do have any questions that you need answering, you can contact him straight away on Twitter, and he'll be more than welcome to answer them, as long as he's not bombarded by them. Right, that's all for me, Craig, here at FPL Expectations. One more thing, if you haven't already, please join our FPL Expectations in collaboration with Gori Customs FPL Mini League. Now, it's a mini league where you yourself can win prizes at the end of the season. But what we're also going to do is we're going to do a monthly thing, just because we want to give more prizes away. So all you have to do is to join the league. The league code will be down in the description box after you've watched this video. Please do join. We're going to close it, I think, after the first month. So make sure you're first to it. Make sure you activate it in the next couple of weeks to stand a chance of winning some exclusive Gori Customs gear. It's really good stuff. So please do. And if you're not already, please do follow them on Instagram at Gori Customs. That's all for me, Craig, here at FPL Expectations. If you like this video, give us a like down below. If you're not subscribed to FPL Expectations, do give us a subscribe. And if you're not following us on Twitter, please do at FPL Expectations. Good night.